Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's episode, we are joined by SchulzCubed and Bobbie-Christine, and today we are going to be fighting the Phyrexians because they're trying to take over Bloomburrow.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Tales of Adventure, Moxfield, and Ultimate Guard, but more on them later in the video.
All right, that's enough from us for now. Let's go ahead and meet the players.
My name is Bobbie-Christine. I am a community builder with Lobby-Pristine and Birds of Paradise. Today I will be playing Mrs. Bumbleflower. This is a true and blue group slug deck. The idea of Mrs. Bumbleflower is to fill my opponent's boards with their own things and hopefully have all of those things crash right into each other.
I'm SchulzCubed, and today we'll be playing Atraxa Grand Unifier. Atraxa has been referred to as the best creature ever printed into Magic, and today we'll showcase why. With this deck full of blink effects, golems, and Phyrexian payoffs, we're about to wreak havoc on this board.
Today I am playing Elevere of the Wild Court. It's your typical enchantment deck, but it focuses a little bit more on the boggles side of it. I'm gonna make one really scary creature as opposed to going wide with a lot of enchantments.
I'm VeggieWagon, and I'm playing a deck that honestly I should have looked at way before now. It's a Layla Cunning Conqueror. Not only does this reward me for playing on my opponent's turns, but it also has a built-in way to stop NerdGirl from attacking me. This is a true Dimir controlled deck, and well, I guess I just gotta get mean.
Today's featured sponsor is the Squareos deck box and collector cases.
Protect your collection with your favorite IPs, both that have been represented in Magic, will be represented in Magic, or some that haven't been at all.
Yeah, they have everything from DC to Star Trek, and my favorite, the Avatar. Who doesn't want an Appa deck box to hold all of your endgame? Squareos has something for everyone. You can find official Wizards characters, as well as Star Trek, SpongeBob, South Park, DC Heroes, My Little Ponies, you name it, they have something for everyone.
Squareos, it's hip to be square.
Squareos, it's time to square up.
Squareos, think inside of the box.
Squareos, square goes the neighborhood.
Squareos, Q better be there or be squareos.
So make sure to support the show by using the link down below in the description to check out your favorite pop culture deck boxes.
And as they say, every square rose has its thorn, and this thorn has got to play Magic the Gathering now.
Welcome to the table. Let's see who goes first. 15.
3.
1.
11.
Yeah, I go first. I have a super simple turn. I'm just gonna play a Plains and pass.
Okay friends, I have my dream turn 1 play. Get ready, because I'm going to take a gallon of gasoline and pour it directly on the table. I will cast Magus of the Vineyard. At the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase, add 2 green to your mana pool. So essentially, everyone gets a soul ring. You get a soul ring, you get a soul ring, everyone gets a soul ring. I'll pass the turn.
I will take my 2 free mana, and I will use it to cast an Arcane Signet. And then I'll play my land for turn, and we will fetch a forest, and we'll pass to Veggie.
Draw. I'm gonna play an island, then I will take my free mana. I'll use 1 of that for a Fairy Mastermind. It's a 2/1 with flying. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, I draw a card, and I can pay 4 mana to make everybody draw a card. It's Group Hug. And I'll pass.
Okay. I will play a forest and I'll use my 2 free mana. Just play my commander, why not? Right? Elevere of the Wild Court, a 4/4 on turn 2. That's perfectly reasonable. When Elevere enters or attacks, I get to create a virtuous roll attached to one of my creatures. And whenever an enchanted creature I control deals combat damage, I get to draw a card. So let's just put that virtuous roll onto Elevere. Woohoo! And that's it. I'm gonna pass the turn.
On tap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna add 2 green to my mana pool. Let's put this breeding pool into play. We'll shock it. I have a total of 4 mana that I could work with. I'll spend 1 of my floating green to cast a Birds of Paradise. Shout out. Birds of Paradise is a 0/1 flying creature that I can tap for mana of any color. I'll use the remaining floating green and pay an additional 2 to cast a Psychic Impetus. I think I would love to target Elevere of the Wild Court.
What are you
with
doing?
The Psychic Impetus.
That seems great. +2/+2 is goaded, and whenever enchanted creature attacks, you'll get to scry? That sounds excellent. I thought you were gonna put her in dumb baby jail.
Isn't this lovely for both of us?
Yeah.
All right.
Teamwork.
Woohoo!
You're gonna die.
Okay, I'm gonna pass my turn over to Schultz.
And I will get 2 mana. I will use 2 mana to cast a Sad Robot. It is a 2/2. When it ETBs, I can fetch a basic land into play tapped, and when it dies, I can draw a card. So we'll get an island. I will play Restless Reef, which taps for blue or black, and you can animate it for 4, and it becomes a 4/4 creature that mills 4. Pass turn.
Yeah, I would like to not get hit for 6 damage on my turn. So I'm going to play this command tower, and then I'm going to tap 2 and use my 2 free mana for my commander, Alayla Cunning Conqueror. 2/4 with flying. Whenever I cast my first spell during an opponent's turn, I make a 1/1 black fairy with flying. And whenever one or more fairies I control deal combat damage to a player, I can go to creature they control. So let's go to combat. Nerd Girl, this is 2 damage for you in the air.
Yep, taking it.
And I will go to Elevere.
Oh, I don't want to attack into the Solemn. That's lame.
Hey, look, I don't think you have much of a choice. I will pass turn.
All right. I do have a fun play though. So let's start with Forest. And then I get to cast with my special mana, the Ondu Spirit Dancer, a 3/3 that says whenever an enchantment enters a battlefield under my control, I can create a token that's a copy of it, and I can only do this once per turn. So we'll go to combat. Unfortunately, I do have to hit Schultz. So I will have Elevere come in to Schultz. I'll have a trigger, which will put a virtuous roll onto Ondu. I'll use Ondu's ability to make a copy of that, which is a token, and when it comes into play, I get to choose new targets. And I should be able to target Elevere.
Yikes.
This is big now. 6, 7, 8, 9.
I had such high hopes for Solemn.
That's not that many points. I wasn't.
Don't
give in to peer pressure.
When Nerd Girl attacks, I'm gonna scry 2. Dang, I like both of these. I'll leave them. Well, let's pick one. I'll put one on top and one on bottom.
And when I deal combat damage, I will get an Elevere trigger. An enchanted creature has dealt combat damage, so I get to draw.
Oh, is that your second draw of the turn? I'm gonna draw.
Yeah! And then I will pass the turn.
I'll tap my Birds of Paradise. Oh, my commander is so cool. That's fine, we have other cool things. I wanna do this. I will use my 2 floating plus the Birds of Paradise to catch Sergeant John Benton. A trample haste 2/4. When Benton deals combat damage to a player, me and that player each draw that many cards. I know you just got hit. Would you want to draw 5 cards?
You see, no.
You can say no.
Right? That's 5 damage.
Yes, it is.
I'll draw some cards.
Oh my gosh, you've got card draw on board.
I mean, he does trample. You could just not give Schultz the choice.
I'm just worried about making the blue deck draw a bunch of cards, and Nerd Girl already has card draw. So that's why I'm checking with you first.
All right, let's do it. Bring it on.
You got it. I will go to combat. I will declare Sergeant John Benton over to you. Pass.
No blocks.
Okay, before damage is dealt, I will pay 1 green and cast a exorbitantly expensive Giant Growth. John Benton will hit you for 5 total damage. We will each draw 5 cards.
Oh, are you each drawing your second card for the turn? I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
4, 5, 6, 7. Post combat, I'll tap Breeding Pool for 1. And next time I won't even have to think about it because I will cast an Aqueous Form on Sergeant John Benton. Aqueous Form is an aura. The enchanted creature can't be blocked. And on attack, I will scry 1. I will pass the turn.
We'll go to draw. I feel like I've established myself as not the threat. I am the punching bag, but I am not the threat.
You're about to slam a Traxa. Nobody feels bad for you.
I think I'm gonna set up for a turn. I'll take my 2 free mana and 2 more to cast a Thassa Deep Dwelling. It's a 6/5 indestructible legendary god that isn't a creature unless I have 7 or more devotion. And at the end of my turn, I can blink up to 1 target creature with the activated ability of 3 and a blue to tap another target creature. We'll tap 2 more for a chump blocker for Grafted Butcher. Grafted Butcher is a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, Phyrexians I control get Menace. Other Phyrexians get +1/+1, and I can pay 4 to sacrifice an artifact or creature to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. Activate it only as a sorcery. We'll play another tapped land as Path of Ancestry. Coming into end step, Thassa will go ahead and blink Solemn, and I will get an extra basic. I've got big plans for Solemn, and it's just ramp. With all these big payoffs in hand, I can't pass up this value. And we'll discard a Phyrexian Triniform. Pass turn.
I gotta spend this free mana, so I'm gonna start off paying 1 and a green for a telling time. I'm just gonna look at the top 3 cards of my library, put 1 in my hand, 1 on top and 1 on bottom. This is not a good card, but it's particularly bad in the current situation, but I like it. I'll put this card in my hand, this card on top, and this card on the bottom. I'll play a swamp for turn, and I've still got 1 more green, so I guess I'll play this Cloud Seer. It's a 1/1 flyer. I can pay a blue, tap, and discard a card to make a 1/1 blue fairy, but it's specifically a cloud sprite, so it can only block creatures with flying. I will go to combat, and there are multiple creatures I like to not get hit by, so I will send Alayla to NerdGirl and Fairy Mastermind to Bobbie.
Hey, those are the only creatures on the board that I don't mind getting hit by.
I have no blocks.
No blocks?
All right, 2 commander damage to NerdGirl, 2 regular damage to Bobbie. I will goad 1 creature each from you. That is Elevere and Sergeant John Benton. No Selesnya creatures can come my way.
Goaded and goaded.
Thank you.
I'll go to end step and discard a swamp.
I will use the first of my mana to cast Cetizen Champion. It has Constellation that says whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under my control, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on him and draw a card. And then pre-combat, I will go ahead and spend 3 more to cast Enduring Innocence, a 2/1 with lifelink that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield with 2 or less power, I get to draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. When Enduring Innocence dies, if it was a creature, I get to keep it on the battlefield as just an enchantment. I will use Ondu Spirit Dancer to make a copy of the Enduring Innocence.
Prepare for triggers.
The champion will see both of them enter, and I believe the first one will see the second one enter because it doesn't happen at the same time. So I will effectively get 3 draws and 2 counters on the champion.
After the first of those draws, I will draw a card.
All right, we are gonna go to combat. I'm going to attack Schultz as I have to do, and then the Ondu Dancer is gonna come over to Veggie because I want you to stop touching my stuff. When I attack, Elevere will get to put a Virtuous Roll onto something, and let's go ahead and just put that onto the non-token Enduring Innocence, which is another enchantment. Hey, I get to draw another card off of the champion.
I will scry 2 on top and bottom.
8 for Veggie and a billion for you.
We will jump. The Grafted Butcher has done its job.
This will also chump.
Then that'll do it for my turn. I think I've done enough. On end step, I will also discard this forest.
Beautiful. I love your game actions.
Thanks. I am loving this setup. Thanks to all the extra mana I'm getting from Bobbie-Christine, my commander was able to come out super early, and I was able to get a massive head start on my enchantments.
You don't want to draw 2 cards.
I do not want to draw any cards now.
Let's get combat out of the way, and I will declare 2 unblockable damage at you, NerdGirl. I will scry 1. We'll put that card on the bottom.
I have no blockers as it is unblockable.
True.
2?
You got it.
Woo!
Let's both draw 2 cards.
I like it.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
Enough of this fairy. Let's go ahead and post-combat. I will pay green for a Noble Hierarch. That's a mana dork for green, white, or blue. And then I would love to pay 1, 2, 3, and cause more problems for everybody. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
I cast Show and Tell.
Ooh.
Each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land from hand onto the battlefield.
All right, I've got my thing.
Reveal?
Yep.
Let's do it. I love Show and Tell. This really is the epitome of the deck. While there can be some very powerful combinations done with this card, My goal with this card is to just flood the board with more nonsense. I've got a Martial Impetus.
I have an Elish Norn, Mother of Machines.
Ooh. I have an Archmage of Echoes.
Oh no, I have a Songbird's Blessing, which won't do the thing I wanted it to now.
Martial Impetus is an aura that gives enchanted creature +1/+1 and goads it. When that enchanted creature attacks, each other creature attacking one of my opponents gets +1/+1 until end of turn as well. I'm going to enchant your lovely commander. Good job.
Elish Norn, Mother of Machines makes the rest of this a little bit less fun. It is a 4/7 Vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent I control, it happens twice. And if it causes a triggered ability that an opponent would control, it happens 0 times. This show and tell is insane. It puts me a whole turn ahead. Getting Elish Norn in to double my ETB abilities, I didn't think I was gonna live that long.
My Archmage of Echoes is a 4/4 flying ward 2 and doesn't care about all that stuff because it says whenever you cast a fairy or wizard permanent spell, copy it.
Mine is fine, but you did ruin my reindeer games. Songbird's Blessing is an enchant creature, and whenever an enchant creature attacks, I get to reveal the top of my library until I reveal an aura card. I may put that card onto the battlefield. If I don't, I get to put it into my hand and put the rest on the bottom. But I just get the 1 copy because Schultz is a big fat meanie head. And we'll just put that on the champion.
Everybody's having fun. This is a good time.
Yeah! Like you can definitely tell that is a group hug deck when you show and tell a Martial Impetus. It makes me very happy.
Okay, with show and tell nice and resolved and everyone's board looking a little juicier, I have nothing more. I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna play a Cavern of Souls on Worm. I feel backed into a corner. We're gonna cast a big bad. 1 uncounterable Massacre Worm.
Uh-huh.
Massacre Worm is a 6/5 that gives all creatures my opponents control -2/2 until end of turn. In addition, whenever a creature an opponent control dies, they lose 2 life. ETB double trigger with Elish Norn.
All right, I lose an Enduring Innocence, which is a token, so that won't come back, unfortunately.
The Impetus saves my Alayla. Right? Right? I'll lose 4.
I'll lose my board.
I lose 2.
I'm gonna lose my whole board and lose 8 life.
Oh no, our mana.
We'll send 2 in at Veggie and 4 in at Bobbie.
Ow!
No blocks.
Taking it.
And then we'll move to end step and Thassa will target Massacre Worm and enter for another set of neg 4.
Brutal.
So currently my creatures have +5/+5 because of the rolls, but I don't think they're gonna be able to survive another 4. So yeah, the Endurance will die, which will then set off a chain effect, I think, to where they are all just the dead. The Endurance will come back as just an enchantment when it dies. And I'll take 8 damage.
All right. My last creature.
Yeah, it felt good. Not gonna lie. Past turn.
I'll pay 1, I guess, for this Fairy Seer. It's just a 1/1 flyer that scries 2, but it doesn't scry 2.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
But I think a blocker is probably pretty useful here. I will pass and I will discard to hand size.
So I have a small problem. This is cute, but I have no creatures in hand.
Oh no.
3 for an Enchantress's Presence. Whenever I cast an enchantment, I get to draw a card. So yay. And then I will pay 1 to cast Carpet of Flowers at the beginning of each of my main phases. If I haven't added mana with this ability yet, I can do so. X mana, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. Now this is a cast, not an ETB, so I do get to draw off of the Enchantress. And that'll do it. I will pass the turn.
Excellent. Poor Bumbleflower. She's a great commander, I promise. She's very cool. Maybe she'll show up someday, but for now, I'm going to cast the Crown of Doom.
Oh.
An artifact. Whenever a creature attacks me or a planeswalker I control, it gets 2/0 until end of turn. I can also pay 2 mana to have a target player other than the owner, which is me, gain control of it. I can only activate this during my turn. You'll never guess what I'm going to do with my remaining 2 mana.
I'm so confused. It pumps creatures attacking you?
Yes, but you give it away.
And I will now pay 2 to have target player other than myself gain control of the Crown of Doom. You can pay 2 mana to give this crown away to other players, but you can't give it back to me. And then I'll pass the turn.
Thank you for all your gifts.
You got it.
I feel like after Elish Nord, that was a very generous gift. We'll go to combat. This time I will sing the Solemn at Bobbie and the Elish Nord at Veggie.
All right. I mean, I'll take 4. That's fine, I think.
Okay.
I'm good to go to damage. I'll take 2.
And I'll cast a Teleportation Circle.
Oh god.
Does it resolve?
So I've drawn the flashy part of the deck that you want when you've locked down the board and have full control over the game, but what I haven't drawn is real interaction. So we're just gonna have to kind of imply that we have it until we can finally draw. I have no response.
We will move to end step. Triggers. Targets.
Oh, gross.
The Thassa will target the Massacre Worm. Teleportation Circle will target the Solemn.
I am going to pay 1 blue. And I'm gonna opt. I'm gonna scry 1 and draw a card. I will put that on the bottom and draw a card. Okay, as you were.
We'll go ahead and blink both Solemn and Massacre Worm, triggering for 2 basic lands and shrinking the board X4.
I was kind of hoping that you were going to blink the Crown of Doom to give it back to Bobbie.
Does that work?
It says under its owner's control.
That's so true.
It's just the ability can't give it to.
Yeah.
Last turn.
After those have resolved, I'm going to pay 2 and flash in Obira, Dreaming Duelist, a 2/2 with flying. Whenever another fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life if an Elish Nord is not on the board. All right, team.
I mean, at this point, I'm on board for Team Fuzzy Creatures.
3v1. 3v1.
I'm going to spend my entire turn to take the main problem off the board. It makes me very sad to have to do this, and I'm even going to do it on my own turn, which my whole deck doesn't want to do. I'm gonna pay 5 for this Fairy Fencing. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. They get an additional -3 if I control the fairy as I cast the spell. So X is 4 plus an additional -3, that is -7 to Elish Nord.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Okay, now we only have like 4 more things to get off the board.
Yeah.
Hit Schultz for 2.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We left up 4 mana.
You want to tap this out?
I'm not tapping anything else down.
Okay.
Nice try there.
That's my turn. Pass.
All right. But I think I can help with the other problem. Is the other problem Massacre Worm? Like, I know I can't mess with the Teleportation Circle, but I think I might be able to kill Massacre Worm. Veggie, this cannot hit me ever until we are one-on-one.
I spent my entire turn to remove the thing that does not
You're
really
gonna
affect
like
me.
it.
Look, I
You're gonna, wait, that doesn't have Death Touch, right? Yeah, you're gonna like it.
will believe you that it will be that convincing without knowing what it is. Okay, so
And please don't counter my something in the future.
whoa, we're adding to the deal.
Well,
now.
because it's a really good deal. I'm gonna make you a big, scary, and kill Massacre Worm
Wow.
with my only 2 not land cards.
if it turns out to be a bad deal, then everything else I have will kill you.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. So we'll start with a command tower. I am going to cast an Ancestral Mask, giving target creature +2/+2 for each other enchantment in play. And so you are gonna get +6/+6.
All right.
On cast, I will get to draw a card from the Enchantress. Oh my god, thank you. Sweet baby Jesus, it's a creature! Oh, I'll go to my second main. I'll use the Carpet of Flowers to pay 1 more to cast Tarjuru Preserver, a 2/1 that says spells and abilities opponents control can't cause me to sacrifice my permanents. I will also get a trigger from the Enduring Innocence because I have a creature with power 2 or less enter, and then I will stare at these 7 lands and pass the turn.
I'll cast Gore Muldrak, Amphanologist. Gore Muldrak is a legendary human scout. Me and my permanents have protection from salamanders. At the beginning of my end step, each player who controls the fewest creatures gets a 4/3 blue salamander warrior creature token. So on the end step, me, Veggie, and NerdGirl will all get a Salamander Warrior. That is my end step, and I'll pass the turn.
We'll elbow tap a little bit for Atraxa Grand Unifier. I've heard this card is good. Atraxa is a 7/7 flying vigilance death touch lifelink. When she ETBs, I look at the top 10 cards, and I can choose a card of each type and put it into my hand.
Quick, counter it. He doesn't have the stupid anti-counter land because she's not a worm.
I want you to
I would love her even if she was a worm.
I would like you to have so much fun, but it is currently a little bit at our expense. So I will pay 1 and attempt to Strix Serenade your Atraxa. This would counter it if resolved, and you would get a 2/2 blue bird creature token.
I will take my Consulary Scry from Path of the Ancestry. I'll bottom that. And we'll move to end step. Teleportation Circle on Thassa will target Solemn and Massacre Worm. And we'll go ahead and blink. I'll grab an extra land and we'll shrink everything by 2.
Hardcore.
I forgot. I take 2.
I lose Gormaldrak and take 2.
Pass.
Draw. NerdGirl, I feel like you could probably use a little more mana, so I'll play a 3rd island for you. And then I will move to combat.
Is it coming my way?
Yeah.
I'll tap it.
I will pass.
Hardcore.
All right. Who has the most islands?
I have 3 for you.
I have 3.
That's great. I will use those 3 to get a slight discount on my commander. Elevere of the Wild Court is back, and that is going to put a virtuous roll on another creature I control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is +5, +5. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's bigger than Massacre Worm, right? Fantastic. And then let's go ahead and pay 2 more for a Warbriar Blessing. We'll cast that on the Salamander. It's an enchant creature. And when it enters the battlefield, enchant creature fights up to 1 target creature that I don't control, and the enchant creature gets +0/+2. And I will have him fight the Massacre Worm. On cast, I will get the Enchantress trigger and get to draw. It's not a land. Let's go. Second main, I will go ahead and cast another creature. We're going to cast the Transcendent Envoy, a 1/2 flyer that makes my auras cost 1 less to cast. Again, I will get a trigger on the Enchantress. I'm also going to get an Enduring Innocence trigger because my creature is tiny. Then we get to go to combat. And you know, Schultz is mean. I'll attack you with a lot. It's got thick booty. It's got 12 points of butt. And the damage is going to be for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think I let one too many get through. I think Solemn's gonna throw up his shields on this one. We'll block.
I got rid of both the blink targets. Let's go.
When Solemn dies, I will draw a card.
Solemn didn't work.
And that's gonna do it for my turn. I will pass.
We gotta get our girl out here. She's cooking up something great. Mrs. Bumbleflower is a 1/5 vigilant legendary rabbit citizen. Whenever I cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, and then I'll put a counter on target creature. And then the creature that gets a counter gains flying. And then if I do that ability a second time, all of that will happen, plus I will draw 2 cards. That's all I'm gonna do this turn. I will pass the turn. I realize I certainly have casted my commander, Mrs. Bumbleflower, way too late in the game. I was very tempted by the cards in my hand. Like Sergeant John Benton was very appealing. I wanted to help people draw cards, but realistically, I probably should have casted Mrs. Bumbleflower.
We'll go to draw. We're in the phase of the game where I'm going to continue to jam big spells into counters until something bad happens. I'd like to cast an Archon of Cruelty. Archon of Cruelty is a flying 6/6. When it ETBs, target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. I also draw a card and gain 3 life.
Yeah, I think if Schultz wants his next spell to resolve, then he won't target me with this anyway, so I'm good for this to resolve.
You can target me.
I will target NerdGirl with the Archon.
Okay. I will discard a land. I will get rid of a Transcendent Envoy, and I will take 3.
And I will draw a card and gain 3. We'll tap 4 for a Wing Splicer. Wing Splicer is a 4-mana 1/1. When it ETBs, I make a 3/3 Golem. And Golems I have flying.
It's good with me.
All right, trigger. I'll get a Golem. I'll play a Restless Prairie. Taps for green or white, and for 4, I can animate it to become a 3/3 green and white creature. I'm gonna move to end step and have Thassa target the Archon and Teleportation Circle target the Wing Splicer.
God, that's cool.
It's good.
I hate how cool that is.
Yikes, forgot about that part.
They'll blink back in. I'll get a second Golem. And I still think that NerdGirl scares me the most now that my stuff flies. So we'll target her again with the Archon.
All right. Land, commander, and 3.
I will gain 3. Draw a card.
After your triggers are resolved, I am going to flash in this Nimrus Una's Trickster. It's a 1/6 with flying. Whenever I cast my first spell during each opponent's turn, I look at the top 2 cards of my library, put one into my hand and the other into my graveyard. And then I have an Obira trigger, and each of my opponents will lose 1 life because a fairy entered. And now I will untap. And then I will go to combat. And
No effects.
yeah, I'll send you this into chump block zone.
I'll block with my Atraxa.
Yep. That, however, is my only actions of the turn. Pass.
I will float 4 mana with my Carpet of Flowers, thanks to Veggie. And I will pay a white and a green to cast Core Spirit Dancer, an 0/2 that says she gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to her. Whenever I cast an aura spell, I get to draw a card. I will draw with the Enduring Innocence. Let's go ahead and use another one of those mana for an Exploration. I can play an additional land on each of my turns. I will get an Enchantress trigger again for the enchantment. Ooh, this one is an aura! Let's go! Let's go ahead and use one more. And we're gonna cast Keen Sense. An enchant aura specifically, and it says enchant creature deals combat damage to opponent, I get to draw a card. I will get a Enchantress trigger as well as a Core Spirit Dancer trigger, and I'll get to draw 2. I will use my last mana and 2 white to cast actual Mesa Enchantress, an 0/2 that says whenever I cast an enchantment, I can draw a card. Okay, now we're cooking. Let's tap 2 and play a Spring Composer. It's a 1/3 with Constellation, says whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under my control, I can put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you control 6 or more enchantments instead, I can put a land or a creature card from my hand onto the battlefield tapped. And then I will play my second land for turn with the Exploration. Let's go ahead and pay 3 to cast Strength of the Harvest. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 for each creature and or enchantment I control. A couple of things are gonna happen. I will get a Mesa Enchantress trigger and the Core Spirit Dancer and the Enchantress trigger. Now we're popping off, let's do it. And then I will get a Constellation trigger, which allows me to play a land onto the battlefield tapped. Cool, I caught up a little bit.
Nice board.
Yeah. All right, now we get to go to combat. And we are going to attack Schultz. Chump the golems to my monster lizard.
How big is it?
Do you really need me to count?
Massive.
I will pass the turn.
All right. At your end step, I would like to show up your entire turn with a single card. I'm going to pay 3 mana for the absolute hottest intuition I've ever seen in my life. Thank you, Bobbie, for letting me borrow this card.
That is nice.
I'm going to search my library for any 3 cards and reveal them. An opponent chooses one that I put into my hand, and the rest go into my graveyard. That will also trigger Nimrus. It's my first spell I cast during an opponent's turn, so I'm gonna look at the top 2, put one in my hand and one in the graveyard. All right, I will put this island into the graveyard, and then I'm gonna look for 3 cards. I am going to reveal Astral Dragon, Malleable Imposter, and Reanimate. And I feel like it's only right to give Bobbie the choice on which of these goes to my hand.
Here's the game theory. If I help Veggie with his optimal option, that's gonna help me deal with my other 2 opponents. Easy, right? Let's put Reanimate into your hand.
Oh, okay, I will take that one. I'll put this Astral Dragon and Malleable Imposter, which are now also reanimate targets, into the graveyard. Okay, best case scenario. Astral Dragon is a messed up Magic card, and I now get it for a single mana. Yeah, I lose 8 life, but I have some big plans for this card. I have no other actions on NerdGirl's head step.
Great. Pass.
Lovely, fun for the whole family. You know, my hand's pretty bad. I just have so very little going on. I have no choice but to need a teammate. So we're leaning in, Veggie. Ready? Mm-hmm. I will cast a Wumpus Aberration. When I cast this spell, it's a cast trigger. If colorless wasn't spent to cast it, target opponent may put a creature card from their hand onto the battlefield. It's a 6/6 with trample. I did not spend colorless to cast this, so you may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield.
Thank you. The best I've got is this Una's Prowler. This is a 3/1 flyer. It has the ability, discard a card. Una's Prowler gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability.
Okie dokie. As I cast Wumpus Aberration, I will also have target opponent, Veggie, draw a card. I will put a 1/1 counter on Mrs. Bumbleflower, and she will get flying until the end of the turn.
Oh.
She has Vigilance, so we should go ahead and swing. All right, I'll send a casual 2-powered boop on over Veggie.
I will gladly accept.
The Bumbleflower boop.
I'm going to discard a Plains to give Una's Prowler -2/-0 and end my turn.
I don't think I'm the problem anymore.
Once you're dead, we'll reassess and find out who the problem is.
Put Jin-Gitaxias onto the stack. Jin-Gitaxias is a 5/5 Phyrexian horror. When an opponent plays their first instant, sorcery, or artifact spell each turn, counter that spell. And when you play your first sorcery, instant, or artifact spell, create a copy of that.
So here's the problem. I don't have a counterspell. So we're gonna dig. In response to this, I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm just gonna flash in this Fairy Vandal. It's a 1/2 flyer that gets a counter when I draw my second card each turn, but it's gonna let me look at 2 cards, and we're gonna hope that one of them deals with Jin-Gitaxias.
Go Nimrus. Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
However, I will put this beautiful Bitter Blossom into the graveyard because I need this card. Each of you will lose a life from Obira, but I have no other response to that Jin-Gitaxias.
All right, it's combat time. We'll send a 6/6 at Veggie. Trigger.
Discard this swamp, take 3, and I guess get rid of this salamander that has not been doing much for me. Thanks, though. I really need to preserve my life total. I'll put this Fairy Vandal in front of it.
The second main, we'll play land for turn. I will cast a Sandstorm Salvager. When it enters, I will create a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token, and for 2, I can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature token I control, and they gain trample. And I'd like to go to end step. Trigger Thassa and Teleportation Circle. Thassa here, Teleportation Circle here.
Yeah.
And with Blinkies, I will target Veggie again with Archon, and I will make Golem number 3.
I will discard another land, take 3, and get rid of the Una's Prowler.
Pass.
This all of a sudden seems bad for me. I think I still do my big play. I'm going to start by paying 2 to cast this Sword of the Animus, which was the card I kept off Nimrus. It is an artifact, so I don't have to read anything else because it's about to get countered by Jin-Gitaxias.
Spell shields down.
Then I'd like to pay 1 for this Reanimate.
All right.
Put target creature from any graveyard into play under your control. I lose life equal to its casting cost. I'm going to target the Astral Dragon. So I will lose a grand total of 8. It's a 4/4 flyer with Project Image, which is an absurd ability. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanent, except they are 3/3 dragon creatures in addition and have flying.
Is it too late to throw my Teleportation Circle in the gutter?
I think I'm gonna target Thassa. I'm gonna make 2 3/3 dragon copies of Thassa. One will die immediately, but I think one is all I need. I'll play this Secluded Glen as my land for turn. I don't have a fairy to reveal in my hand, so it's just gonna come into play tapped. I'd like to move to combat.
I will tap it.
I will pass through combat and go to my end step. This Thassa is going to trigger. I'm going to blink Astral Dragon.
That's wicked.
Oh God.
So this will come back into play.
Make a copy of, oh God.
I'm gonna make 2 teleportation circle baby dragons. So now I have also 2 baby teleportation circles. I'm feeling slightly better now. I will pass the turn.
Let's start by playing 2 lands per turn because I'm allowed to do that. We'll pay 2, and I'm going to cast a Lion Umbra. It's going to give an enchant creature +3/+3, and it'll have vigilance and reach. It's also an Umbra armor, which is really cool. It's gonna let me get a few triggers. I get to draw off of the Spirit Dancer, the Mesa Enchantress, and the Enchantress's Presence. That's gonna be 3 draws. And then after that, I will get a Constellation trigger. I'll put a tap plains onto the battlefield for Constellation. Let's go ahead and pay 2, 3 more, and we're going to play Archetype of Courage, a 2/2 creature that says all of my creatures now have first strike, and creatures your opponents control lose first strike. It's not an aura, but it is a creature, so I will get some triggers. I will still get the Mesa Enchantress and the Presence, because those are not aura specific. And I will get the Enduring Innocence as well, because it is a creature. So 3 more. I'll get to put another land onto the battlefield, another plains. Let's play another creature, 2 mana for a Spirited Companion. When it enters, I get to draw, which will let me draw 3 total. Is it time for someone to die? Because I did find something.
Nice.
Let's pay 4 mana for a Holy Mantle. Holy
Mantle.
Enchantments. +2/+2 and has protection from creatures. We're going to target the core Spirit Dancer. On cast, I'll get 1, 2, 3 draws.
Okay, so before you get those draws, not that I assume you won't pull something for 1 green that stops this, but I want you to have that. But if I know if it goes towards me, I will just die. I have counter that spell in my hand. It is my final card. It resolves if it does not attack me this turn. I will even give you that freedom. It's just let me get to my turn. But otherwise, I have to counter it.
I'm just gonna point over here at this Jin Gitaxias.
Oh yeah, never. Okay. Yep.
No deal?
I'll still give you the deal of
No touchy.
yeah. If you swing it at somebody that is not me this turn, I won't tap it down.
I will not attack you with this if you no touchy.
Then I do not have a response to
So
it.
how much am I taking?
We'll see. I'm gonna draw some cards first. I drew my 3 cards. I will get another Constellation trigger. Let's go ahead and put into play a tapped Pearl Ear Imperial Advisor, a 3/4 with lifelink. Enchantment spells I cast have affinity for auras. That makes everything really cheap.
Absurd.
Whenever you cast an aura spell that targets a modified creature, I get to draw a card. So let's go ahead and cast another aura. For 1 green, because of a discount, I'll get a Fertile Ground.
Ooh.
It's an enchant land that taps for an additional mana. But I will get to draw 3 cards. And this time I will just play a land with my Constellation trigger. Okay, time to go to combat. We're gonna swing with the core Spirit Dancer. That's going to Schultz. And the Salamander is gonna go to Veggie. So this will be 32 damage for Schultz with the core Spirit Dancer. And then the Lizard, I'm assuming, is getting chumped. He's got 23 power.
Yeah, he's big. I don't think I need 3 copies of this kind of thing. I will put this teleportation circle dragon in front of it.
First strike damage resolves.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
I will go ahead and tap an island. I will cast Serum Visions. As I cast this spell, I will have Schultz draw a card.
Hey!
I will put a counter on Mrs. Bumbleflower,
Thank you.
and she will gain flying until end of turn. I will now resolve Serum Visions by drawing a card and scrying 2.
No.
I will have that spell countered after my cast triggers. I will go to combat. I will have no good attacks. I will pass the turn.
We'll go to draw. All right, math is for blockers, right? And we'll tap 7 for Elish Norn, which is a 4/7 Vigilance that double anthems all my creatures and gives all creatures my opponents control -2/-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of stuff. Dead, dead, and dead, little guy. Nope, he lives. Just kidding.
I would like to go to combat.
Where's it going? You don't have to tell me, but if you don't, then I tap it.
I'm gonna swing it at NerdGirl.
Okay.
If I want to, I can kill you, but then I can't kill both you and NerdGirl.
I'll see what you want to do with it. I am not doing anything before you declare attacks.
Forward, activate my Restless Prairie, and would like to declare attacks. Splitting attacks like this, because we made a deal. We'll send Archon, Jin-Gitaxias, and a Golem in at NerdGirl, triggering the Archon, and 2 Golems, a Restless Prairie, and a Wing Splicer in at Veggie, triggering the Restless Prairie. And the Restless Prairie will anthem the team.
Yikes.
I will discard and lose 3 life. I will say goodbye to my salamander.
Well, I didn't think that I was the one that was going to die here, but I was willing to take that chance.
I also didn't think you were the one that was going to die here.
I will block all 3 of these to your Wing Splicer to kill it on the way out, and Nimrus to one of the Golems.
Yep, and I've got the block for the big Archon and 1 for the Jinn.
So we'll activate Sandstorm Salvager. We'll put +1/+1 counters on each creature token I control, giving them some trample damage.
My last bite on the way out, I'm going to activate this Dragon Thassa Deep Dwelling and tap down Elish Norn. And then I will die.
I chumped this, and then I ate your guy. And how big is the Golem now? It's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yikes. 7.
All right, and I will also take your Wing Splicer out.
We'll go to end step and we'll blink some things. And we'll get a Sandstorm Salvager and an Elish Norn.
Oh no. I will go to my turn. I am gonna actually die to Bobbie. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna die to Bobbie. Oh no, I have lifelink. I have lifelink. That's why I kept that card. Haha! Planned it all along. Let's just put people out of their misery. Let's give this one +1/+1 for each creature and aura I control. Responses?
None.
I'll get to draw 2 cards for the auras. Yay me. Let's keep it going. We're gonna go ahead and tap 3 more. And we'll go ahead and make the Pearl Ear, protection from creatures. And when I cast this aura, I get to draw a card, which will trigger these 2 and also draw 2 more cards. I will play 4 to cast Sage's Reverie, an enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, I draw a card for each aura that I control that's attached to a creature, and enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura I control that's attached to a creature. That's a lot. But I think we are dead. So I'm going to attack each of you with 1 of these. If you have an interaction, I will draw these cards. If not...
Yep, Selesnya Storm.
I pause priority to let you put scooping on the stack.
I passed the scoop.
I will not make you go through the game actions. I do not have Swords to Plowshares.
Scoop to value!
Enchantments!
Also, fun fact, did you know the last time that a Jin-Gitaxias Progress Tyrant has resolved on this show?
Episode 1. It was me.
Is that when the ban was put in place?
Veggie Tempting Wormed on like turn 2, and I put it into play. It was gross.
That's beautiful. We learned a lot of harsh lessons. I already mentioned I should have casted Bumbleflower a little sooner. I ran out of gas much quicker than I expected, but that's kind of just what happens when you pour gasoline all over the table on turn 1.
Don't forget to support your favorite Commander show by doing something you were going to do anyway, and that's buy Magic singles. And you can do so by using our sponsor, TOA.
It really is that easy, and Tales of Adventure has a wide selection of singles from the most basic printings all the way through the most premium versions. And they've also started stocking sealed product now, so you don't need to go anywhere else for anything Magic.
And you get 5% off your entire order when you use code DECKEDOUT at checkout.
And you should know by now, the link is down in the description, right there. I think Schultz literally just went,
It wasn't that face.
I heard it.
You've got it on film. I was happy. I wasn't quite that happy. I may have invoked the wrath of the table a little bit too early. I wanted to stabilize the board and make sure that I could get an early lead, but I just turned this commander game into arch enemy.
If you're building decks and you're not using Moxfield, then I feel bad for you. It just is the best tool for organizing, customizing, and collaborating on all of your decks.
In fact, it's the only way that our team can keep up with building sometimes over 20 decks per month. And it's the way that we can share our deck lists with you in a nice, easy format.
You can always support the show too, just by following us on Moxfield, where you can find every deck that's ever been on the show.
You treated my salamander right, and I'm gonna remember that.
Now that one sounded dirty.
Well, did your salamander have pants? 'Cause your salamander didn't have pants too.
Mine does not have pants.
No pants.
You got all sorts of pants on your salamander. You got big pants.
It's actually like not exactly pants. Like there's thigh here. This is like
salamander?
a little like
Ooh.
little bikini bottoms salamander.
Thigh gap.
Well, I played Dimir Control and I countered no spells and removed barely any creatures. But I did some weird stuff with an Astral Dragon, and I got to play the prettiest piece of blue cardboard you've ever seen in your life.
Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG accessories.
And Ultimate Guard products are the way that all three of us on the Decked Out team are able to organize, protect, and display our collections. And they're the best way to show off all of our cards on camera for you.
So make sure you use the link down below in the description to support the show and pick yourself up some amazing upgrades.
A llama.
Ma. Oh wait, that's not a llama.
That sounded llama-esque.
Llama's kind of ba, right?
I think most people would not have noticed it wasn't a llama sound.
That was a really close game. If I had one less creature on board, I wouldn't be able to kill both players, and Bobbie would have gotten me with a silly Bumbleflower. That was an incredible game, and I'm so glad I was able to draw so many spells in one turn.
We'd like to wrap up today's video by thanking our patrons and YouTube members. Without your support, we would never be able to film these episodes.
Doy, it's thanks to patrons and members like you, Greg, that we're able to make this show weekly, and that does mean a lot to us, so thank you.
And you can always become a part of the show by signing up for the Patreon with a link down below in the description. Unlock those exclusive perks, monthly signed tokens, spell table games, even have us play your deck list here on the show. But if you're not into Patreon, we also have a link to our Ko-fi where you can check out our tokens, stickers, playmats, all sorts of goodies for you to pick up and support the channel.
And of course, Gregory, you can always support the show by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. That's all we have for you for today. We will see you next time on
Decked Out.